starting off with a huge win. We have crossed that 8K GMV line, which is so exciting. 8,100, and it's only going to grow. It's funny because what we kind of were feeling at the very beginning was that we had this really big opportunity to grow with the electrolytes, and looking at the data, electrolytes are continuing to soar. So I feel like this snowball is just continuing.
And something to be said, right? We're coming into the time of the year where people actually start. I mean, we wish that this was an ongoing thing, but people really start caring about their health, right? We're coming into the new year, new me trend. So, really getting ahead of that with things like electrolytes, the moringa, on top of the Black Friday and like the shopping season, if you will. There's also like the New Year season that we're coming into. So, we are in perfect timing with that as well.
For sure, yeah.
Remember, Rosabella is allowing us, the BMC team, to have these GMV prizes that correlate with how much GMV we have. I think I have hit the AirPods Pro, which is exciting. But I'm feeling very grateful because you can also have a cash prize as well.
For sure. Yeah, I know. And it's super exciting that, like, right now, I think, especially with electrolytes and moringa, it kind of makes me think just about how people are going to be, putting things into their body that maybe they don't normally eat and drink every day. And so the fact that electrolytes are just going to be such a easy swap. And I know moringa, there's some angles about inflammation and gut health and things like that. So I feel like all the stars are starting to align.
Totally. That's such a good point. We just like trash our bodies over Thanksgiving
Yeah.
and Christmas. And they were like, oh, now we actually have to take care of ourselves come January 1. So, like, this
Yeah.
is perfect timing.
All right, let's jump into moringa.
So I grew up with an almond mom, and even though I was diagnosed with ADHD at a young age, she never let me take Adderall. And it wasn't until recently that I realized why she never let me take it. ADHD is essentially just a dopamine deficiency, which is your happy chemical. And when you take Adderall, it actually uses all of your available dopamine. And taking this for an extended period of time can lead to a dependency and completely drain your brain's reserve of your happy chemical. So instead, my almond mom would always make me drink matcha before I went to school, which tasted like absolute dirt, but I had no other option to help me focus. So when I moved out, I decided to do my own research, and I found that the reason the matcha actually helped me focus is because it has a little caffeine with this stuff called L-theanine, which is an amino acid that actually helps build dopamine and serotonin in your brain. And being that ADHD is just a dopamine deficiency, if you take L-theanine, it's literally going to become your best friend. And as I stated before, I absolutely fucking hated the taste of matcha. But whenever I was looking into L-theanine supplements, I came across this gum that has caffeine and L-theanine. This brand was on Shark Tank, and when I tell you this tastes about 1,000 times better than that dirt-ass matcha, I'm not even joking. Whenever I chew like 2 pieces of this stuff, it's as if all my distractions and procrastinations just completely melt away, and I'm actually able to focus on what I need to get done. And since you absorb it through your mouth, it actually enters your bloodstream quicker, so it hits way faster than drinking a matcha, coffee, or energy drink. Like, after 5 minutes of chewing on it, it literally feels like I'm in that movie Limitless. The only problem with this stuff is since they're such a big brand and they were on Shark Tank, they are literally always sold out. So if you see an orange cart down here somewhere, please let me know, because I need to get like 10 more packs of this stuff before it's gone for another month.
I wanted to bring in this example specifically because I think in the past, if anyone has seen those other like almond mom type videos, usually they involve cutting fruit. And this one was still super effective and it drove sales, even though he is literally just sitting in his car talking. I was looking through the comments as well. And even though we might watch a lot of videos and we might be like, we know what an almond mom is, there were so many comments of people being like, can you explain what an almond mom is? What's an almond mom? So it's still like one of those terms that is kind of like vague, like, it just gets people to comment, which I thought was interesting. Instead of pointing out some of the highlights in this style of video, I just created like a kind of like a framework of like his pathway as he goes through the story, because it is a bit of a longer video. But right, he goes and he talks about ADHD, talks about what was off limits. He starts to throw in some of those overlays in there, talking about like, I think he had like a Google search about like what ADHD is. He's explaining what's happening. An example here, let's say if you were doing like gut health or inflammation or something, I bet that you could probably find something with a quick Google search that says, maybe if you have this problem, it's related to poor gut health because your intestines are inflamed or whatever that might be. So I think that one is pretty easy, like replicable. And then he goes in, right? He talks about the dangers, talks about how he did not like the taste of matcha, but he needed to find something similar. So he starts searching and he finds the gum. So same thing. I think you guys kind of get where I'm going with this one of searching for what's going to fix the problem. And then you find moringa. And so I'm not on purpose, I'm not really telling you what problem to pick because moringa solves for so many things. And then at the very end, his call to action was so interesting. Instead of being like, I'm dropping the link if you want to buy it or if you want to check it out, he almost like turned it back onto himself. And he was like, if you see that link, let me know because I need to reorder. And so I think that kind of does two things, right? Number one, it's going to get people to probably comment, to hopefully people would be like, I see it, or like, they just want to comment because he's kind of opening up like a conversation. But the other thing is, I think when someone's giving you this much information, whether they're educating, whether they're entertaining, you almost now feel like if this was a real life conversation that you would like respond to them and be like, that was such an interesting story, or like, where do you get that gum? Or I grabbed it from you. And so I just thought that was this really interesting call to action that I haven't really seen across many videos yet. So this is just a script. If you want to take a screenshot of it, feel free. But this is just kind of like a done for you script that you can use if you want to try out that style of video, especially if you're either wanting to try FaceTime vibes type content or you're already doing it and it's performing well.
If you're a TikTok shop affiliate and you're not getting paid every time you post, you're probably leaving money on the table. With Brands Meet Creators, simply browse the pre-approved offers, request a sample, and make a post. That's it. You'll earn a flat fee per post plus your normal commissions. It's free to join and only takes a minute to get started. Click the link below to sign up.
Let's get into some electrolyte.
I stopped drinking liquid IV when I found out there was a bunch of cane sugar in it. I was like, what the? Did you know that? Nobody needs that much sugar unless they're like on a basketball court for 8 hours straight. I try to drink at least one bottle of electrolytes a day, especially if I work out. And I just got home from working out. This stuff is amazing. Then I found out one of my other favorite electrolytes was just using table salt. This is instant hydration. Okay, so I'm drinking the raspberry. They also have watermelon. The flavors are really good. Baby, this is clean. This is clean hydration. 83 minerals from the deep sea, not table salt. Best part, in my opinion, about them is for every order, they pledge to remove 1 pound of plastic from the ocean. Why would you choose a product just because it's popular? Plain table salt, 83 plus minerals from the deep sea. It's a no-brainer for me. And exclusively, they are launching their variety pack, so you get a chance to try all the flavors and find your favorite. Click here right now.
Sugar and salts. I just love how like realistic she is. She's very herself. You can tell that this is her personality. She's very like cut, dry, no BS type of a woman. A little bit unhinged. The like noises just made me chuckle and it like kept me wanting to continue watching. Loving that she's calling out her competitors. Everyone knows, I think at this point, yes, Liquid IV has a sugar-free version, but for the most part, they're using cane sugar in their more popular electrolytes. So she's calling out Liquid IV. Again, still be careful. I know we can do it. I know people are not having issues with it. For me, I'm just not going to do competitors. I'll like probably die on that hill because I just don't want TikTok to come back and do something, but to each their own. So the Liquid IV, and then the table salt is actually the Element brand, which used to be my favorite until I learned that there's table salt in it and a lot of like additives that they are not disclosing. So there's like a big lawsuit on that. So she's calling out very popular competitors. And then she even brings us back into that at the end. Like, why would you drink something just because it's popular? Okay, so she's kind of like changing your perspective around that. This one's easy to replicate. It looks like she literally just got back from the gym. It's in a water bottle, not too much effort. She's kind of bouncing around her kitchen. The area of growth, I was thinking in when I'm gonna replicate this probably tomorrow, is just talking about why. Why do we drink electrolytes after we work out? Right? It's awesome to have like electrolytes, and a lot of people know about electrolytes, but you also want to be able to teach people and educate them, especially when we're talking about supplements, right? So I drink electrolytes after I work out because it keeps my energy up, it helps me recover faster, and it even stops the brain fog. So just giving people a little bit more, so you're taking that knowledge and that credibility a little bit further than just pushing a product, right? It feels like you're giving them information while also wrapping in the sale as well. And then on the Rosabella side, so a lot of those other brands, yes, they have the sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium. Rosabella also has zinc, vitamin C, B12, and chromium. But I thought this one is a really easy one to replicate. That's probably the one that I'm gonna be making 5 videos on tomorrow, and I'll let you know how that goes. And I just like her. Like, her hair is like wild. She's kind of like my hair's kind of wild. Just clearly she's a friend, a soul connection for court. Electrolytes 101. So I don't know about you guys, but it just feels so much easier to make content when we know what the hell we're talking about. I think as us creators, oftentimes it's like, just get the video out, get the video out, get the video out, make the content. And there almost becomes this like, I just have to keep creating. And the more that we actually take a step back and really start to study our product and understand our product, and that's not just for any of our Rosabella products, but that's for any product that you're selling, the more you're able to just talk about the pain points, the solutions, why someone would want this, what it's done for you, the easier that is when you're talking about it, the more authentic it is going to feel, the more credible you are going to be, the easier it is for you to make that sale. Right? How many times have you been scrolling through and you're just like, I'm being sold to, this person hasn't even tried this. It just leaves like a sticky taste in your mouth. And honestly, that's like what gives us creators a bad rap, is like the people who actually don't, forgive me, give a about what they're talking about. They're just trying to make a sale. Yes, of course we want to make a sale. We want to, this is our livelihood and the money is important. But the more that we're actually able to educate and understand our product, the better off we're going to be. Key things for you to know, like when someone says electrolyte, at the beginning, I didn't know what it meant. I was just like, I don't know. I drink them because it makes me feel better. Sodium actually helps us hold on to our hydration. Potassium is to reduce water retention. So potassium helps us with bloat. Going back to that sluggish dehydration, we can loop in a little bit more about potassium there. Magnesium helps ease tension, stress, headaches, helps us sleep better. Vitamin B12 and vitamin C helps us boost energy and prevent different colds, immunity, things like that. Zinc and chromium can support our hormones and cravings. And then calcium can help muscles relax and recover. So even if you wanted to do something like taking a screenshot of these or, just having these available when you're putting your text on screen, very easy ideas with, 7 to 10 second bottom of funnel type videos of just having this on screen so people can see what the heck is electrolyte and why is that important to me? Like, everyone's using electrolytes, but like, what does that actually do? So again, going a little bit beyond and being that creator that goes a little bit further when it comes to the information that we can give plays off so much better. The 2 videos that are doing really well for me with Rosabella, I'm speaking to a lot of the benefits beyond just saying electrolytes. I just wanted to have that for you guys. I hope that was helpful.
I was going to add to that, right? People are going to start commenting. It's going to reduce like your path to resistance to start doing comment reply videos right away because you already know about the product. And same thing for our live creators. Some of the best live creators out there, you'll hear them talk and they'll say that they really do know every single thing about the product. They know the objections. They're like going on Amazon. They are looking at the FAQs. Like, they're learning everything there is to know about them. So it's not very often that when they're on a live, they get a question that they can't answer. And I think a lot of that because they spend actually so much more time behind the scenes than we might think doing that product research.
Great ad. And it's like, we get so shiny object happy, right? Of like, ooh, what's this? Samples. And then we have like 20 different products that we have to make videos for. Really allow yourself the ability to kind of pull back. And again, of course, electrolytes are a beautiful thing, moringa, whatever your product is, but take the time to learn that. Switching your mindset a little bit from like, how many videos can I pump out to like, how can I really understand what I'm doing and then pump out the videos? Okay, because I'm guilty of this too. I'm actually speaking to myself here. So thank you for allowing me to talk to myself through you guys. Okay, skits right now are popping. I don't know if y'all have seen this. Cassidy, she is an awesome creator. And this is 20 million views right now. It is for goalie, so it's not Rosabella, but I just wanted to get your wheels turning around being a little bit more creative when it comes to our videos. I started doing skits and they've just been fun. Like, yes, they take more time, but the payoff eventually, and I just have a feeling that it's going to come, but it is more work. So when you are doing skits, just know that going into it, it's going to take you longer, but I truly believe in the long run, it's going to pay off. So I just wanted to show you this one and then we can talk about some tips and tricks when it comes to actually doing skits. But this is Cassie.
What brings you in today? Can't stop eating sugar. That sounds like a blood sugar problem, so we're gonna give you some apple cider vinegar. I can't function without caffeine. I'm literally drinking can after can. Vitamin B12 deficiency, that's pretty common, so we'll give you some of that. I'm going to the gym, I'm eating healthy, but the stubborn belly bloat will not go away. And then I'm stressed way more than normal. Sounds like high cortisol, so we'll give you some ashwagandha. I'm getting all of this random adult acne everywhere, typically related to bad gut problems. So let's try a postbiotic. And I catch myself in the fridge even when I'm not hungry. Poor gut signaling, so let's try a prebiotic. You want me to take 5 different pills? Honestly sick, you should throw in a probiotic as well. What? Or if you don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on all those supplements separately, you can get all of those same benefits in 3 delicious gummies. Your 3-in-1 pre, post, and probiotic, your apple cider vinegar and B12, and your ashwagandha. All of these bottles are sugar-free, non-GMO, vegan, and they use fruit pectin, so there are no pork products. How much are they? I keep seeing people buy just one bottle for $35 in the store, but when you get them on the TikTok shop, you can get all 3 of these for less than the price of one. So if you've been wanting to try these out, now is the time to do it, because when they are this low, they go quickly.
Gold, right? The text on screen, I'm actually not usually a captions gal, but this does it for me. And I think there's something to be said about the SEO and what the algorithm is pulling from it. One thing I will say, when it comes to skits, and I've had people in the past on our calls been like, I tried that, it didn't work. If you were to go to Cassidy's account and see how many of this same script she has done, it's 20 plus. So again, if you have a good idea and you really have that feeling of like, okay, I can make this pop off, please don't limit yourself by trying it once, trying it twice, and being like, ooh, the skit didn't work. Because again, it's like I could tell that she was on to something. And if you go through, like, that one's at 20 million, and now she has other that are very similar that are going off as well. So again, we're kind of in this interesting shift with TikTok, and I know you're all feeling it, myself included, with my accounts, but it's like things are changing, and the more consistent that we are with content, the more that we're putting into our content. It's not the like quick hits that are happening overnight. We're back in that phase where like, don't look, this is something that again, I'm telling myself, don't look at your views for at least 2 weeks, okay? That's what a lot of the top creators are saying. Like, I just kind of post and ghost in the sense of like, I don't keep checking that video over and over again because that just like messes with you mentally. Post it and move on. Okay, because that backup time, especially with us coming into Black Friday, Cyber Monday, this holiday season, just continue to create good content. And I know all y'all can do that. When it comes to skits, this was actually a great catch from Nick when he was reviewing one of my videos. Make sure that we introduce both characters within the first 2 seconds. So you saw Cassidy, the doctor, and the gal, that it was like right away, like, how can I help you? And then the person. Okay, so if you're doing this and you're playing both characters, which I highly recommend, sometimes when we're doing it with other people, it's like you want the person to be better, and then it just like comes off like it would take more time potentially if you're doing it with someone else, like a spouse or a friend. If you have the ability to do that, by all means, but you can be really successful with doing these with yourself. So I wanted to make this as easy as possible for us. Attention grab with unrealistic use. So she's using like, yeah, what
brings you in today? Can't stop eating sugar. That sounds like a blood sugar problem, so we're going to give you some apple cider vinegar. I can't function without caffeine.
Notes?
I'm literally drinking
using like a hairbrush.
Vitamin B12 deficiency, that's pretty common, so we'll give you some of that. I'm going to the
Okay, so you could see in the comments, like, are we not going to talk about the makeup brush pen? Like things like that. Again, just like getting people to talk. And of course, everyone has something to say, and we always want to actually play on that. Using the opposites. Okay, this happened to be a doctor and a patient, but having like a super chaotic friend versus like the very chill friend who's all into Ayurveda and like what he or she does. So calm versus chaos. Like if you have these polar opposites, it just makes for a better, more entertaining and more engaging skit. Every line you want to drive curiosity or laugh. So every line, every swap should be funny or like something that's engaging. If it's just like a one line that's not really like necessary, make sure you cut that. But definitely take advantage of every line when it comes to scripts. And then holding the product reveal. So we didn't learn about Goli until what, like 45 seconds in. She's talking about all the benefits. Here's what it's gonna do here. And so we're building the tension. So we're like, okay, where are we going with this? And eventually we know that you're gonna talk about a product, but we're so engaged because the value and the benefits that we've got that I actually am like, okay, well now I wanna be sold because this sounds legit, right? She had a very chill call to action.
So if you've been wanting to try these out, now is the time to do it, because when they are this low, they go quickly.
Yeah, when they're this low, they go quickly. She didn't even mention, like, it's in the orange card if you're curious, but that's one that I've been using. It's in the orange card if you're curious. So again, not really pushing the sale or making someone feel like you're trying to sell them. It's just very like, yeah, if you want it, it's here. Those types of CTAs are doing well right now.
The other thing I was going to add with skits is that you'll start to get quicker at the editing part of it when you do them more. I know we always talk about like dead space, but it's almost like, yes, you want to trim the dead space, but like it's going so fast that you almost feel like the clips are like slightly overlapped, or like I don't know if it's actually like that, but it feels like that. So I know that's like such a minor thing, but I've seen some other skits in the past where like if there's even like a second or two of dead space between them, it kind of feels like it's not as like as much of a back and forth, like it feels less engaging.
Oh, and something to be said here, great point. Thank you for sharing that. Something to be said when you're doing scripts, film all of one character first and then film all of the second character. I have made the mistake of like trying to go back and forth, thinking that it was going to be right, like thinking that it's going to be faster on editing, and then I'm like 30 minutes into editing, I'm like, what am I doing? Why did I do it that
Yeah.
way?
That, and also if you don't want to have to like mirror all the clips for like the second person's lines, like the first person's lines, like I'd put the tripod right here and I'd be like facing this way. And then the second time, change outfits and then just move it over here. So you're getting like different sides of your face. You don't have to do that, but if you have the tripod here the whole time and you're looking this way the whole time, the second character's clips, you're going to have to mirror them all.
That's a great ad too. I did some of them and Nick gave me that feedback too, because I was like talking, but we were like both looking the same way. So it didn't actually look like we were having that conversation. Definitely test that one out. Once you get into it and try it out, that will make sense. Right now, it probably does not make much sense, but it will. So skits are popping. If we can commit to, before our next call, having a skit done, I think that would be really fun. And then if you do have viral scriptwriter, highly recommend taking that script, like verbatim the script. This is what I've been doing, putting it in there and saying, please give me 2 different versions of this. Okay, and just letting it do the work for you. Of course, edit as you must, but really using our tools to work smarter, not harder, especially when it comes to something that we're putting a lot of effort in. Make the parts easy that you can. I think the biggest thing, again, guys, control your controllables. Yes, we want to support use language, so help, support, energy. We're not curing anything. So remember, using help, support, words like that before we talk about the potential benefits. But controlling our controllables, it's always a thing at the end of the night. It's like, okay, did I do what I felt like I could have done today? Okay, cool. Did I? Maybe I didn't. And if I didn't, what can I commit to tomorrow so that I can make up for whatever I might have not gotten done today? And continue with that mindset when you go to bed and when you wake up, and you'll really just start to know that you start getting in this flow, and then the TikTok algorithm or whatever's happening or the commission and all these external things just continue to be the external things because you just feel so good with where you're going in your progress. And wait 2 weeks before you start freaking out on your views, please.